Hey everybody.
Welcome back.
They're back.
My beard is getting so long.
I like it.
The reserves was canceled in January, secondary to horrible weather. And it really was. I'm really glad that they canceled it. It would have been dangerous to drive. So that gives me a whole extra month to grow this puppy out.
Do you remember last month I was asking if you would consider skipping January because I knew these first few months with Eloise were going to be the hardest. And prayers were answered.
I'm the big guy.
Yep, you didn't even have to make the decision.
If you're new here, we're Brett and Rach, and normally we have a drink in our hand.
Tonight it's ice cream night.
Cheers.
Cheers. We have Andy's frozen custard here, which is, it's not even ice cream, it's frozen custard, right?
Whatever.
Whatever the difference is.
Same difference.
I think they're different.
So traditionally, we review either a baby product, toy, something. And then if we have time, we talk about stuff. So tonight, we are doing...
Also, go Chiefs.
Cha-ching!
Dun.
These animal flashcards. These were a gift from our nanny, Carrie, for the kids' second birthday.
You know what she told me?
What?
Nora could identify and say all of the letters before her second birthday.
I'm sure our kids would have too if we had them before.
We would have had the discipline to do it.
Yeah.
They can say their ABCs and count to 10.
Right.
Well, before they were
they
two.
already know all of these animals. They already know already.
Well, she could say the letter, but yeah, I guess that's similar. They definitely know all of the animals. These are great.
But the thing is, the animals are a little bit different than your traditional picture of an animal, which I think is great because the kids have to figure out, that looks like a regular picture of an elephant, but maybe it's not an elephant, but it is an elephant. You know what I mean?
I kind of don't know what you mean at all.
So their thought process is they have to, because it's not a traditional picture, they have to know enough.
Did you fart or did you?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's
Yeah, the iris.
my eyes are watering. Oh, it's burning.
It was definitely an animal.
Oh, it hit like a brick wall.
I'm not gonna be able to eat my ice cream.
I'm nauseated. Oh my god.
It was Iris.
Seriously?
Yes.
Iris, is your tummy upset? Oh, she just...
It smells like burnt hair and acid. Smells like acidic burnt hair.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, it's still really strong.
So it's not your traditional picture.
Okay.
So they have to know enough
I need
to like put two and two together.
Why is it a traditional picture? Because it doesn't have context?
Look at the walrus.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a walrus.
It's purple. I guess that's true, but a lot of them look pretty traditional. Buffalo. So you can do either side. It still
this
reeks.
Is gonna be bad.
Don't even, you can taste it when you open your mouth. How is acidic burnt hair covered ice cream?
Ugh.
Whew. Man, if they rip another one, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stay here.
No, this is over. Now Rusty came over too.
If you look at this video and it's only
Look right
like
there.
1 more minute before it's over.
Unfiltered.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Are you sure it wasn't you?
Does that smell like a human fart?
I don't know. Not any that I've ever let. Okay, anyway. I'm sure that was
Entertaining.
yeah. These are awesome. They
And
also
is
come
it a
in
vulture?
a nice box. And it's Eric Carle, who's a fantastic. Is he the artist as well behind all of the Eric Carle books?
Oh, I don't
He's
know.
gotta be, right?
Yeah, probably.
we love Eric Carle around here. They say ages 3 and up. So we'll link these. I'm sure we can find him on Amazon or whatever. We'll put them in the description box below. These are a favorite. They're another one that you have to like gather up and keep aside, or else these will end up
everywhere.
But
Under the couch, under the table.
they're very sturdy though. Like none of these are bent yet. Knock on wood, but don't knock because Rusty will bark.
Okay.
Speaking of educational things.
Moving on. Rachel and I are at an entirely different viewpoint of what we're about to talk about.
Yes. Man, I don't even know where to begin with this because I feel like it's a polarizing topic, obviously. And I wouldn't say that I'm dead set on anything yet. I just want it to be an open conversation.
Which I'm fine with.
And
because we still have some time to decide.
yeah, not only just an open conversation, but be open-minded. And I've been a little bit non-traditional with all of the major decisions we've made with parenting, I feel like. And like, we don't put our kids in timeout.
I feel like that's kind of the trend now. Like, you don't spank, you don't time out.
We don't spank, we don't put kids in timeout. I feel like there's a lot different and better ways to discipline a
cloth
child.
diapering.
We do cloth diapering. Yeah, and they were a lot of things that I probably started that conversation, and you eventually came to agree.
Only the cloth diapering.
Do you want to spank our kids?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't spanked.
Oh. I don't think that you disagreed with that one, I guess.
Didn't.
Okay.
What the heck?
I guess you didn't disagree with that, or timeout.
No.
No. But the cloth diapering, I had to convince you. Let's just cut to the chase and talk about what we're talking about.
I was 1,000% against cloth diapering, but I'm glad Rachel won on that one.
Really?
Yeah. So we're talking about school. Rachel is very interested in homeschooling our children.
Mm-hmm. And I think that sounds really strange to some people that don't necessarily understand what that means nowadays, and are worried about. There's definitely a huge list of pros and cons. I was actually thinking about this morning. I need to start writing them down, because
I'm sure they're written down on a website somewhere.
we could just
You can
Google
print
it and
Yeah, just print that out. You can just check it off.
True. But our nanny homeschools one of her children, or two? Was it two for a while, and now it's
Two
one?
for a while, but then one wanted to go back to traditional school, so now she's back to traditional school.
Yeah, so, and that's kind of what got me started thinking about it. And her reasoning was because that she was in a school system where in a particular grade she had a very unfortunate experience with a teacher that could not have cared less about her students. And that could happen at any time when kids are in public school. They're in the hands of somebody else who may or may not care about them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something that I think you have to give up to the universe, I guess. But
well, now, at what age do they like start transferring classes and having different teachers?
it depends on the school system. There's several school systems that are around us. The one that they are in the district for is one of the furthest away. The one that's the furthest drive. Mm-hmm. There are two other schools that are closer.
Right.
But they're not in those districts, so we would have to pay out of, and they're all different.
The school district that we're in, at what age do they switch classes, switch teachers and stuff?
I think like 4th or 5th grade they have. I think they're starting to do that sooner with 1 or 2 classes.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure.
So that kind of mitigates that problem. So what do you feel like your pros for homeschooling are?
A lot of them.
Uh-huh.
I think public school is scary these days, just from a school violence standpoint, bullying, peer pressure, social media. A lot of things scare me. Buses in treacherous conditions with a really long commute, somebody else teaching our children who may not have the same values as us, all of those things. And then I think there's a lot of wasted time in public school. And
that's the only one that I wouldn't disagree with.
Oh, I thought
the rest of those, I just don't feel like that's a very strong argument for any of them. Well, maybe
I feel like it's a really strong argument.
I don't. Especially like a bus, the bus.
That's lower on the list. Yeah. Bullying, peer pressure.
All that stuff they'll have whatever we decide to do. Especially social media. I mean,
yeah.
Our family, we live on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But like school violence and just that fear that I'm sure is in every mother's heart sending their kid off to school. Mm-hmm. So then there's obviously some drawbacks to homeschooling too. It's like some cons to homeschooling. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Those are.
The cons to homeschooling?
Correct.
Well, for one thing, your kid is home all the time. So you have to either have a full-time nanny or you can't work. One or the other.
And that's not true.
Or both. What do you mean it's not true?
When they're old enough.
You either have to have a nanny or you aren't working.
Not when they're old enough.
Okay, at what age are they old enough to stay home?
Stay home, like 12.
Okay, so for the first 12 years.
12? The first 6 years.
Of school.
Yeah.
But 12 years of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So for the first 6 years.
We're gonna already be at 6. Yeah, so for the first 6 years of their school.
Yeah, you either have to have a full-time nanny, or you have to stay home from work, which is really expensive. The social aspect. So they probably, I guess with the whole, so like our nanny, they have a co-op. So does the co-op have like dances and stuff?
I don't know.
Because you're not gonna have your traditional homecoming or prom.
Yeah, I don't know.
And how about social? For me, probably the most important part of high school was football. So what about sports?
So now, and especially in the schools around here, because I think homeschooling is pretty common around here compared to other areas. For some reason, probably because some people are concerned about the school systems.
I think our area is actually really good, isn't it? Like the high schools in our area, they produced you.
They did. So I think they allow you, and we're gonna have to do a ton of research on this to make our decision, but they allow you to participate as a homeschooled student. They allow you to participate in programs like band and sports, and you go to the school for those things, for those classes.
I'm just afraid you're gonna be looked as an outsider.
I don't think so.
You're not gonna have the same camaraderie.
I don't.
Like on the football team?
I think it's way more common now, and it's probably a non-issue.
Yeah, possibly.
Another huge benefit to homeschool is being able to compress your school week into, I mean, just a much more efficient time. And it would allow us to go on really cool vacations at any time of year that we want to without having to worry about pulling our kids out of school.
Yeah.
And getting behind and missing stuff.
Yeah, for me, I just don't worry about that.
Okay.
Like
I
if
feel
we
like
wanna
you would feel differently though if we wanted to take more than one trip in a year, and we would have to like clear it with the school, and our kid would suffer because we took them out of school for a family vacation. You're not worried about it now because we haven't had to deal with it.
Right.
And it's not like we could, once we start out homeschooling and we're stuck, we can also change our minds and put them in public school. Or
And
start
vice
in public
versa.
school and change our minds and homeschool them.
Yeah, I think that's the better idea.
Of course you do. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we ended up landing on.
We got a long time to think about it.
Well,
and we have a lot of people's opinion. Please comment. Be very respectful, because we know that your opinion will probably be very strongly with this topic.
I'm going to say that again. Be very respectful.
If you're not, we'll just delete your comment.
I love him more than any human in this world besides my children. And we couldn't disagree more. But we still love each other very much, and we are not mean to each other about this when we talk about it, even though we are on opposite sides of the spectrum. So take that for what it's worth and phrase your comments as nicely as you can.
Or don't, and I'll just delete it. Which, it's kind of like censorship, like us being able to remove comments.
I don't like that we can't.
Yeah, me neither. But since we can, I don't mind. Well, especially if someone uses a cuss word. If someone uses a cuss word or something like that, then
we just don't want that on our page.
Yeah, this is a family channel.
And you can say your opinion without being nasty.
But 99.9% of our subscribers are awesome.
Very awesome.
And
really sweet.
That's why we continue to do this whole YouTube thing, because you guys are great. So we love you. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on our journey.
Follow us on this very intimate decision that we make about the education of our kids.
Cheer for the Chiefs.
Woo!
In the big game this weekend. I think the big game is also a trademark. So you're not supposed to say that either.
Of course it is.
Hopefully we'll get a letter from the NFL to cease and desist.
There's gonna be a football game this weekend. Go Chiefs.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.